Good morning, ladies, gentlemen, scrappers, scrappets, planets, lovers, recyclers, and all the cool people who hang out with me on TikTok and YouTube. This is not a usual time for me to go, well, actually, take that back. I've got a bit of a scrapathon going today. And, I don't know, I figured maybe some of you guys would enjoy hanging out and chatting. We are in the wettest weather pattern I can remember in a very long time. It has just been rain. I feel like I'm back visiting Grandma Brady. Every time I visited Grandma Brady, it rained. But that's okay. Great Grandma Brady. Great Grandma. But that's okay. My grass is loving it. Got all new grass seed down. I got bug killer down. I got fertilizer down. So, what I have for you this morning, God, this crap's heavy, is this. I thought I'm getting these packed up to go to board sort. My goal for the day is to pack up all of my e-scrap and get every single piece of e-scrap off of the middle level of my house. We had a bit of a flood the other day, so just getting out from under all of that, I had to throw a lot of stuff out. It got really soaked. My kitchen, biggest problem we have is the kitchen cabinetry. Really, cabinetry took an awful bad hit. It's really in bad shape, so I wound up calling the insurance company. I don't like to do that, but what are you gonna do? So here I have a stack of dual socket, and these are small socket because you can't fit a diamond here. So these are small socket. It's a multi-socket because there's more than one. Server motherboard. I got these out of old compact servers. They were compacts and HPs, by the way, made by the same company. I thought I'd take a minute and look at them with you from the aspect of, hi Ricky, hi Fernando, welcome. From the aspect of, is this something you would want to purchase for scrapping or gold recovery? You know, once these are gone, they're gone. I may not get more. So I think it's important to take a good look at the boards. So we've estimated the date of these to be, oh gosh, I think we said 2015. They could be even older. These servers came out of a hospital, and when I purchased them from the computer tech, he asked me please to make sure they all got destroyed, which I have, of course, thoroughly enjoyed doing. So, let's take a look at this from the aspect of possible gold recovery. Get this where you guys can see it. A lot of gold pins here. I probably will try and take those to get a little value for myself. I'm not really hurting my buyer. He's going to buy this as a board. If I was selling this to somebody as a gold refiner, no, I would not take those. There's a lot of rubbish on here. It would affect it as far as gold recovery, but it doesn't affect it as far as what kind of board it actually is. It actually is a board that's pretty thick with components. You've got a lot of flat packs, gold banded BGAs. Stay. Sit, stay, good boy. Let's see if we can get the nippers and get that out. Yeah, so I don't know when I'm going to get another chance to go live. I'm going to try tomorrow, but I don't know. I've got a guy coming to power wash the outside of the house. I've got a lot going on. Nothing bad, but just a lot all at once. We've got a power washer guy coming. I've got a guy coming to look at. I'm going to put an enclosed porch in, I think. We have a really nice patio. We always had a really nice big awning up there, and we always had a lot of really great parties out there. I thought about replacing it with a pergola, but I want to get a price on one of those retractable awnings, and then then the contractor's coming Tuesday to let me know how much it's going to cost to repair the damn kitchen after the flood. And that's Tuesday. Monday, I'm heading into Rhode Island to pick up another bunch of computers. Those are probably going to wind up going into storage because there's just a lot going on with the house and the yard. It's that time of year. I gotta be out in the yard. All right. So most buyers like those aluminum things taken off. I probably will leave these. There are 2 good chips under there. Netflix never watches. I love Netflix. So again, this is a dual plastic socket, small socket server motherboard. For gold recovery, because this is an older board, yes, it should be very good for gold recovery. I might try and get that off. I don't know. I'm going to pull these pins here. If you're looking at this for gold recovery, you've got gold here where the RAM went. There's always good gold there. That's why RAM is gold fingers guide. Gold fingered into gold finger slots produces better connection, etc., etc. There's good components under these. But again, the problem with this board for a refiner is going to be this. You know, if I sold it to somebody for gold refining, I'd have to clean all that up. This part of the board is fine. As a matter of fact, this part of the board is very good. You got a lot of chips. Let me flip it. Mostly on the back, you just got a lot of tantalums, and not tantalums, IC, MLCC, small chips. So maybe not a top 10 board for gold refining, dual plastic socket from an older HP, but some good things on it to pick some gold off of. So this one is going to get sold to board sort. Okay. And again, I'm just going to go through the stack of them that I have here. Any use for the little small battery things? No. Matter of fact, you have to take the batteries out. This thing here? Yeah, you have to remove the battery, by the way. You can't ship things with the batteries in them. It's a fire hazard, so remember to take the battery off. I think Official Test Dude put something up a couple of weeks ago, maybe last Saturday. He said he was going to do it, about recycling those batteries. I take them to the transfer station. I don't get into that kind of thing. Same thing with the lithium-ion batteries. I take those right to the transfer station. I don't fiddle with that stuff. Usually, I would take these off if they had gold fingers, but they don't, and they are soldered to the board, so I'm not going to bother with these. These are voltage regulators. Some computers, you can pull them, and they have a nice gold fingers on them. So again, this particular board is going to go to board sort. I'm not going to sell this one for gold refining because of this. There's too much. There's just a lot of crap on it. But again, I am going to take those off. My buyer won't really mind too much. I got to make a little bit. Okay, I see a few new names going by. That's really cool. Welcome aboard. So again, this stack is all dual socket motherboards. Small socket plastic. They do tend to be a little bit better component-wise. I got it off today. I couldn't get that off yesterday. I tried. Again, I took the battery off. This looks like a really good chip if somebody's doing gold refining. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff on this board. This is where there was a processor of some type here. Look at the gold pins there. A lot of them. Gold in the memory. Gold here. Gold here. There's some gold here. This is a better board for possible gold refining. There's a little bit of rubbish. These weigh nothing. They're just capacitors. They weigh nothing, really. But you've got tantalums. You've got a lot of chips here. I would say this is a good candidate for somebody who is refining boards. There's a lot here. Okay? A lot of chips, a lot of tantalums. This board, even though it's the same kind of board as the other one was, just has a lot more value, that's all. Just a lot more scrap value to this board. Not scrap value, gold refining board. I might put this one aside. Just, I'd clean it up a little bit more if I was going to sell it to somebody for gold refining. I could just sell it just like it is to board sort and be done with it. But this one is a candidate for gold recovery. There's a lot on it. There's not a lot of wasted space either. This is a wasted spot, but that's a good candidate for gold recovery. That's copper. Oops. And a lot of ICs and MLCCs here. So this is a decent board for gold recovery. Again, we think this one came out of a, this is probably an HP or a compact. I scrapped a bunch of those the other day. This one's a decent board. This one I would consider selling for gold recovery. A lot of flashing here. These older boards are heavy and they're thick. They're really laden with copper, gold, palladium capacitors. These things, they're just capacitors. They're aluminum. And it is possible that first one might have come from a Cisco server. It said Dell on it. The first one, that said Dell. Cisco, yeah, this came off of a Dell. It says Dell right on it. Cisco usually doesn't have these kind of ports. They usually have the metal sockets. Not all, but some. So this one I think came out of one of the compacts or the HPs. So again, if you're looking at for gold recovery, I would say older compact and older HP is a good choice. Okay, here's another, same kind of board. Another of the same. These are, if I cleaned this up, I would clean these off if I was selling to somebody as gold refining. I'd just pop those off. That is a good board for somebody who's interested in gold refining. The best boards for gold refining are high-grade telecom boards. All day, every day. So this came out of a compact or a Dell or an HP, or not a Dell, an HP. It says HP on it. And I think we decided these were from around 2015. At least I think that's what they are. But they're older. Anything pre-2020, you're going to do much better on. Here's another one. Now this is an even older board. The color. There's a lot more gold in this. It's lighter though, I don't know. So this one this came out of an HP operating system, maybe a cash register, or some kind of server along those lines. There was a lot of wasted space here. Again, I probably wouldn't sell this one for gold refining. I would just going to sell this one to board sort because of this. You know, that affects, if you're selling e-waste by the pound, you have to credit those things. So, not one of the better quality ones, but it's okay, you know. Board sort will happily take it. Gold banded BGAs, a couple of chips here, and again, the small plastic socket motherboard. They're really not, they're featherweight. Matt, he's asking if the capacitors are worth any value. Some people pull them and throw them in with light iron aluminum. You're all the way in Florida. You know who you could ask that question to is Shark Scrapper, because he used to be in Florida and he used to ship. I find that the post office is the cheapest. But board sort is actually right on a main shipping line, so it's a little bit cheaper to ship to. UPS is really expensive. I don't know. You're gonna have to check. I would go to Staples and compare the shipping services, Stephen, and see what they come up with. I think the post office is the best. I tend to send a lot of smaller packages. UPS will charge you $65 if you go over 50 pounds. I had a package go out I was ripping. I had a package go out the other day that weighed 50 pounds, 6 ounces. And they freaking charged me $65 for an overweight package. I was not a happy camper. So you gotta be careful. I'm just gonna put myself on a quick cup of tea here. That is my Keurig. It sounds like Baby Shark. Yeah, no, the shipping is really an issue. Honestly, Stephen, if you can find a local yard to work with financially, it is better off. I'm in Connecticut, so it's not as bad, Connecticut to Ohio. But yeah, shipping's a real pain. If you can find a local yard, it's almost better. The thing with board sort is they pay enough that it's actually worth it. And again, this is not a paid promotion. This is just what works for me. I had a local yard, but they, I don't know. They're long story there, but they no longer. I don't deal with them anymore. So I'm looking. If I could find a refiner or a board buyer that paid what board sort does, oh heck yeah, I'd do that in a minute just to save the shipping. And I love board sort. They're very honest and easy to deal with. Anyway. This is another dual socket, small plastic socket motherboard. Oh, well, welcome aboard, Matt. Thank you so much. Yeah, this is an odd time for me to go live, but I have so much stuff here to scrap, and I want to share with you because once I ship them, they're gone. I can't show them to you. So this is another one. This one came. I'm going to presume out of a Compaq or an HP. Yeah, there's the logo. HP. Doesn't say the year. Sometimes it says it either on the CPU or it'll say it on the case. But I'm gonna go again with thinking these are they're pre-2020. So you've got some memory here. Again, if you're a gold refiner, would this be a good board for you? Well, let's find out. So there's a good chip under here. I don't know if I can get that off. I'll take it off. Sometimes you can't. I'm really careful when I go after these ones that are kind of stuck to the chip, because if I pull it and I take the top of the chip off, it devalues it. So again, small plastic socket. I can't fit a dime in there, and quarter rather. Can't even fit a dime either. Small dual plastic socket, green motherboard. You've got tantalum capacitors. Some people will take a few off and collect them. Tantalum capacitors are sold by the pound as well. There's gold here. There's gold here. A lot of gold here. A lot of gold here. It's not a bad board for gold recovery. There's really not a lot of wasted space. Just this. So not a bad board. If you're looking to buy certain, that's the other reason I want to do this. Hi, Caroline. Good morning to you. Willie, welcome, Willie. Try to say that 3 times fast. Welcome, Willie. Welcome, Willie. Welcome, Willie. I did it. There's some chip things here that are gold bearing. There's some things here gold bearing, gold bearing. I think refiners, people who gold refine, want these kind of things on a board. So an old HP server might be worth your time. Okay, there's the back. Some people will depopulate them and then sell the board as a low-grade board. That's perfectly acceptable. E-Waste Ben used to do it. He would take an ear chisel and just shave it a haircut 2 bits, So he used to do those. But, you could depopulate the whole thing and sell it as a low-grade board at 40 or 50 cents a pound. I mean, that option is certainly available. This board has a lot of gold flashing. It's an old HP/Compaq board. And I know because I scrapped out all the I tend to scrap things out that are the same, basically so I can ship everything in the same way. Oh, I got lucky with that one, let me tell you. So there's lots of chips here. Gold-banded BGAs, gold-banded BGAs. BGA stands for bald gold something. There's bald golds and gold wire underneath here. So gold cornered BGA. I forgot what the second part of it is. I really did. BGA. I know it's bald gold something. Mirage Collective, welcome. I see some new names in the chat. Again, I'm kind of doing a scrap marathon today. I've got a lot of things to pack and get ready for board sorting. I've got a pile of computers to do. So as long as my voice holds up and you don't get sick of listening to me, I'll stay on for a bit. Usually I go live Sunday morning, and I don't know if I can now because I'm having somebody come to power wash the house tomorrow, even though it's probably going to be pouring rain. Boy, look at these tantalums. Ooh! If you're selling to board sort, they don't like you devaluing things, but, you know, you can nip one or two off. It's not going to hurt anything. I don't nip because this is a board I would probably consider selling for gold recovery. Possibly. There's gold here, gold here, gold in here. There's another chip under here. Tantalums, gold banded BGA. I think this is gold banded BGA under there. This is a pretty good board for somebody who wants to do gold recovery. So, you know, I'm not really going to nip. You know, if you nip all your chips off, they're going to downgrade your board. These come off really easy. Save yourself a nice jug of them. They sell pretty well. But I'm going to leave these. Because, again, I may sell this board, and I don't cheat people. I sell my boards and stuff on my hi Calvin. I sell my boards and stuff in my eBay store. Right now it's under CT Band Instruments. It is a growing thing. I've only recently started selling e-scrap on on eBay. So D-Scraps sells e-scraps on eBay. She sells seashells by the seashore. I will, by the way, upload this video to YouTube, because TikTok won't let you if you go over an hour, and I know this one's going to be long just because of what I'm doing. The weather's crappy, so I'm going to do a scrapathon. There'll be good gold here, good gold flashing gold in here. So this is from an old HP, probably a compact. So if you're looking for old servers, I would say old compact HP is a good server to get, if you can get them cheap enough, you know. Know what the pricing is before you go. I don't know what these boards pay offhand. I should have checked, and I'm sorry I didn't. And here's another one of the same. So this was a pretty good lot of boards. Is that 2 CPU slots? Yes, Keith Too Cold. These are CPU slots. These, by the way, these had pinned CPUs in them, which was nice. Those are good for gold recovery. I'm glad you asked that question. Metal sockets usually have pin-less CPUs. And you know what, as I go through some of the computers after that I'm going to scrap with you, I'll try to show you that. But yeah, these were pinned CPUs. They were good value. I have a whole bunch of those up for sale too. So this board would grade as a small dual plastic socket server motherboard. Yeah, 2 CPU slots. You can see more than 2. Like servers sometimes, Keith, you'll see 2, 4, 6. I've even seen 8. So, you know. But most of the servers you'll see, I think you'll see 2. All right, give me one moment. I'm just going to go move this stack so it doesn't fall on my kitchen floor. Not that it matters. My kitchen floor is trashed from the flood last week. Ugh, what a pain in the neck that's going to be. We'll get there. Okay, let me go grab a computer. Just going over here and grabbing another server, guys. My work cable's not big enough to put everything out on all at once. I will be very happy when all of these servers are scrapped out, let me tell you. And it's going to be today if it kills me. Just because this week I've got to focus on the house and the yard and stuff, so, you know, what we have between the flood and the bad weather and just the fact that the house was really neglected the past few years because, you know, Mommy was sick and we really couldn't do anything with her being sick. So, yeah, no, Dennis, you know what? The good thing is I hadn't done the remodeling yet. And the other good thing was I was actually home. I was out in the yard. Had I ever been away, it would have been even worse. Patrick, good morning. So this is another batch of those servers that I got from the hospital. I did buy them through a computer technology store, and I'm hoping to do a lot more work with them. And they were simply upgrading outdated equipment. But with the purchase, I had to sign a statement that said I would dismantle and take the computer apart. Actually, Patrick, thank you. I'm doing well today. Been a tough week, but I am back in the game. It's raining again. Just took a load of rubbish to the transfer station, and because it's raining, I can't do anything with the outside today. So why not hang out and destroy servers? That's always fun to do, right? I liked your video last night, Patrick. That was great. I'm kind of on the same page with scrapping out older technology and showing people the difference between the older material and the newer. The saying in the gold family here on TikTok seems to be the older the golder. Boards made after 2020, according to the refiner in Fairfield. He says they're not as of good quality. He doesn't buy anything between 2020. Wow. Looky. Looks great at first sight, right? Ooh, look it. We got a nice chunky server RAM. Why would anybody scrap this? It's a beautiful board because it's got all technology. So let's go through this a little bit. I'm also trying to do a couple of videos where I'm identifying different computer parts so that if you scrap them, you know what to save and what to not. I'm a teacher. I've been a teacher my entire life. And that's what I do. Yeah, I went to the transfer station this morning and got rid of all my batteries too. I don't like to keep them around the house, especially lithium ion batteries that come out of laptops. Things are really toxic and dangerous, guys. There are people who recycle those. But again, if you don't know what you're doing, please don't. Same thing with gold refining. If you don't know what you're doing, you can really hurt yourself, or worse yet, someone else. Well, not worse yet, but someone else. Everybody's got their niche. Mine is taking things apart to sell to people who do like the gold refine, who know what they're doing. The eBay store is new, and that's been actually going pretty well for me. And, yeah. So this is a PCI riser card. Sometimes, actually I take that back. This PCI card. I knew till about 30 seconds ago what that actually stood for. PCIe. So this is a printed circuit board extension. It adds memory. It takes workload off of the CPU. These are usually filled with gold. These are usually very good gold recovery. Honestly, guys, this is as good recovery. If you're just going after the fingers, this is every bit as good gold recovery as the RAM is. And it sells for a heck of a lot cheaper. Hello, InfoWars XYT. How are you? So for those of you who just joined in, we're doing a scrap-a-thon. This week is going to be very busy with things going on at the house. I had a flood last Saturday. Not horrific, not the end of the world, but it did do some damage. I'm going to have the kitchen cabinetry replaced. And they're going to have to do some work in the basement. I've got 2 humidifiers running down there trying to get the moisture out, but thank God for insurance. I don't use it very often. I don't even like to use it at all, but there's no way I can fix this myself. The good news is I was going to remodel the kitchen anyway. You can hear the... no offense. I can hear the... No offense. Okay. I don't know what that was about, but okay. I don't offend any too easily anyway. So yeah, these are awesome for gold recovery. Now, when I sell these, I sell them. If I'm going to sell it to board sort, it's going to go as a gold fingered card with no heat sink and no bracket. It pays better. If you leave the bracket on, they're going to downgrade it, and you have the heat sink on, they're going to downgrade it even more. So this is a nice clean card to sell to board sort. However, I have these in a box, and I will sell them in 5 pound lots to people who gold refine. And I'll put those up in the eBay store again. And if they don't sell, I'll just sell them to board sort. But if I was a gold refiner, I'd go after something like this as opposed to a great big board. I've got chips, gold fingers, and some here. I'm going to pay a lot less for this than I'm going to pay for a whole big server. PCIs. Hang on one second, guys. Let me see if I can grab my box of PCI riser cards. I want to show you these. Hold on one second. It's 10 steps down the hall and 10 steps back. Nuts and bolts. I've already packed them. I've got boxes of, I've got my e-scrap boxes all packed up. I took them off to the storage bin this morning to make more space in the house. This is a voltage regulator. Look at the gold. It came out of one of the HPs. So, you know, I have them all packed up in boxes of the same thing to either go to board sort or, you know, go to somebody else if I can find somebody. So, yeah. This one? Yeah. Some people will put this in with slot cards or slot processing cards. Yeah. But see, this does, it'll have a CPU, not a big CPU like what's under here. These are the main CPUs for the board. But yeah, it's a smaller CPU, but yeah, it's a CPU nonetheless, because this processes information. Anything that processes information is going to have a CPU, central processing unit of some type. Okay. Isn't this fun? I'm doing what I do best. I'm teaching. I love teaching. I miss working in public education. Oh my God, so much. Well, I don't know how long we'll be on here, guys. We'll be on here as long as my voice holds up. That could be a good thing or a bad thing. So this is also a PCI card. Lots of gold in here. Lots of gold here. Some people will group these in with back plane boards. It's not a far stretch. But man, look at that. Look at that gold. Scrap and Irish would be drooling. Lots of flashing over here. Yeah. So, you know, I group these together as PCI cards. And these, I'll either put in with gold finger cards or exactly what they are, which is PCI Express cards. These are made by IBM. PCI Express cards. I went online and I actually started Google lensing all of these so I would have a little more intelligent information to share as to what they are and what they do. I'm not a computer, believe it or not, I'm not a computer person. I just take them apart and sell parts. I am a computer destruction technologist. Got my tea with honey. Very good for your vocal cords. And the lady down the street has just started selling some of her honey. She has, I don't know how many hives. Matter of fact, she is going to bring somebody to try to see if they can remove a hive from my holly bush. I have a huge holly bush, and it has a huge colony of bees in it. And they're very gentle. They don't bother me and they don't hurt me. But my nephew's little girls come over to visit, and all it takes is the bees getting pissed off about one thing, and we got problems, you know. And but we're hoping if they can get the queen out, they can rehome the whole colony. She's going to take a look. I just don't know. I've been going out at night, and I've been trimming back the holly bush as the bees are dormant at night, and it's still a little bit cooler at night, so I don't want to hurt them. All right, so here, CDT, Carolyn? Did I miss something, didn't I? All right, so everybody goes, oh, wow, look at that fantastic RAM. Oh, boy. 2 gigabytes, guys. It's old technology. I will sell that as gold-fingered RAM. I'll take the copper plug off it. So you're winding up 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 gigs of RAM to power a server. You wonder why they're slow? Well, there's a reason. I mean, my gosh, 16 gigs of RAM barely powers a PC these days. So again, great gold, but for a gold refiner, oh yeah, I want those. I'd want these. What the heck's his name? I just sold him a whole bunch of RAM too. Oh, banana boats that run out of my head. Southern Scrapper. He does a lot of this. He recovers a lot of gold out of things like this. I think if you just go hashtag gold recovery, you'll come across a lot of people who do this. And let me get this guy out of the way. These are light copper. I can sell them as number 2 copper. I did go up to the yard and have a little conversation yesterday. I have probably, Southern Scrapper. Yep, that's exact. Thank you, Denise. That was exactly what I just said, and you said it at the same time I did. He's going to probably be busy with these storms. He's a lineman. He was out. I'm sure he was worried last night. They were having some terrible weather during his live. I hope he and his family are okay. And prayers up for anybody who got in the way of these storms. It's really super foggy out here today. It looks like something off that Tommy Lee Jones movie, The Fog. I was coming home yesterday from scrapyard in North Haven, Connecticut, and as I was entering New Haven, Connecticut, you couldn't even see the buildings. It was so foggy. Yes, you like that? Computer destruction technologist. I thought that was great. Thank you very much. I'll be here all week. I could sell this as light copper. It's like a number 3 copper, so to speak. If they're very easy to take apart, and I'm going to put another video up. The one I put up last night, I took it down. Let's just say the view wasn't the best. All you could see was my female anatomy because of where I had the camera, so I took it down out of personal embarrassment. Plus, I was in a really lousy mood. You guys don't need to see me in a bad mood. These come apart super easy. So, this is something I would do in front of the... But look, I don't know if you can actually see this. This base is copper. And I think if I take the time to get these fins off and just clean it a little bit, I think I can get number 1 copper. I know that's bare bright. That's probably number 2, and then this is flashing. That's a project for a rainy day. Not that it should take long. We've had lots of rainy days around here lately. Somebody asked about the 2 CPUs. There's 2 in this one too. This is an IBM, I think. IBM Blade server. And these are pinless. There's no pins here. They're worth nothing as scrap, guys. They're worth nothing. They're not worth holding on to. Very little gold recovery. This big copper heatsink. These I sell to board cert. I don't even bother. I mean, it's like gold flashing on here. Got about 25 pounds of those in the basement too. I've got everything sorted. And I'll be selling it in bigger lots. And if any of you are in the Connecticut area and you're looking for e-scrap, just hit me up. I've decided to put everything on eBay because, well, I just have a lot of it on. Yes, as a matter of fact, Dennis, I actually wrote them to say, hey, those look familiar. But he was super worried because the weather was really bad, and he didn't answer me back. But I have a nice TikTok friendship with him. He's a nice guy. I sent him down some extra stuff too. He bought some RAM for me. I sent him down some gold flash cards and some other things. As I said, I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be putting some pictures on my website. It's going to take me forever to do. I don't know when I'll get there. Yes, my website really is, honestly and truly, thecomputerscrapper.com. I do own that domain. I have had numerous offers to sell it, and I won't. Yeah, well, you know, Carolyn, you got to put a little something back in the pot. He's a nice guy. He works real hard, and yeah, you know, I make enough money. I don't need to be greedy. Which one did I just snip? This one. These guys with the arms on them usually will remove fairly easily. If they don't, you can put a little heat on it and try to lift it off. If it doesn't come off easily, just leave it. So what'll happen is you'll fight with it and you'll pull. What I need is channel grip pliers that I can wobble it a little bit, and a little bit of heat. That'll take that right off. I do that outside. That's an IBM board, by the way, guys. This is an IBM System 3550. As I said, we know it is older. I really have forgotten the date on it. I think it might be 2015. I've just completely forgotten. Can't imagine why. I've only scrapped about 150 servers this week. I sell it outright, Dennis. There's some advantage. I sell it outright. I just sell it by the pound. Again, that's a work in progress. There are some things I will sell that are collectible. Like I had a PCI riser card come out, one of these the other day. It had an AMD pin CPU in it. I've never seen that. So things like that I'll save as vintage items. Yeah, no, I don't bother with the bid thing. Here's the store, buy it or not. You know, I don't want to be bothered. It's too much hassle. And then if people want to buy stuff, they can just contact me. In the meantime, I'm perfectly happy to do what I've been doing forever, and that's... Ha! Come on, join your friend. Join your friend, you bugger. Alright, well. Tain't gonna fight with it, because it's gonna win. We all know what happens when I fight. Oh, good. Dennis, if you need any... hit us up in the comments if you're just getting started, and you know, if you are you going to be doing gold refining, or are you going to be scrapping computers, Dennis? What are you actually going to do? Just hit the hashtag with whatever it is you're interested in. Like I say, if you're doing gold refining, be careful. That's super, super dangerous. If you don't know what you're doing, I advise waiting till you do. Refining. Scrap and Irish for sure. Odin is another one. Hey guys, who else does refining? Angel Williams. Who else does safe, smart gold refining, guys? You want to throw some ideas up there for him? That would be nice. Yeah, oh gosh, he's right up in Connecticut here. Oh, come on, brain. Sketch the Alien, and I'm going to be bringing him up some e-scrap this week. This weighs about 2.4 pounds, guys. I weighed it out. So it is all copper. These you can just take a hammer, put this on a raised surface, and just beat the hammer right through it. I have a lot of those that I've got prepared. I just don't want to sell it as just dirty copper. I'm going to get, you know... I don't know. I suppose when I run out of room, I'll just give in and take it all to the yard. I don't know. Very good. You know, make sure you're in a really well ventilated area. Make sure you don't have a lot of people around. You know, for me, it's not even something I would consider because I don't have a work area that would be safe enough to do that. Our neighborhood is just too densely populated. Plus, my nephew has little kids, and you know, it's just this. I'd rather take it apart and you know just sell it to either board sort or to somebody who's doing gold refining. That's what works for me. You know, everybody's got their spot. I've only been doing this since February with the Tic Tac thing. I've been scrapping computers for almost 8 years. I started with vintage Apple computers. Again, I resold a lot of those, and I had a lot of them. I thought they were just the coolest thing. But life changes. You got to change with it. Mom got sick, and you know I couldn't put the time into the hobby. I had to do things that made money, and that I could do from home, and that's how I started scrapping computers. I own a music school, very successful rental business, but when Mom got sick, I had to be home with her, and not that I'm complaining, God in heaven, I'm glad I could take care of her for as long as I did. And, you know, I would do this down in the basement, and when Mother needed something, she'd bang on the floor with the cane, and I'd come running. I thank God that I had those years with her, I really do, and that this was a godsend, literally. I was doing my music lessons online by Zoom. I paid somebody to keep the studio. Yeah, do your own thing. That's right. Everybody's, you know what, Carolyn? Everybody's got a thing. Your mother's 85. I hope she's in good health. My mom was in great health right till she hit 90. Boy, and then she got COVID. She got COVID. She fell. The poor thing. The last 3 years of her life were horrible. I'm just glad I could make it easier for her. I miss her, but I don't want anybody taking care of Mom but me. And of course, she's gone now. You worked at a recycling center, Dennis. Oh, that's fun. These are awesome. You're going to ask me what they are, and I'm going to forget, because I looked it up yesterday. These are power backplane boards, if I recall correctly. They are made by IBM. Look at the gold recovery on that thing. Holy Toledo. Well, again, I could nip the fingers and just sell this as a peripheral board, or I could sell the whole board just like that. I could sell it as a gold finger card. Board Sort will buy it as such. Or I could group a whole bunch of them together and sell it as a lot. Again, I mean, wouldn't it make more sense to buy a pound of these than to go buy something like this if you're a gold refiner? I mean, I don't know. See, I don't know if you're aware of how the actual refining process works on these things. They take these boards, a refiner, not a refiner, somebody who really recycles computer boards. They'll send this board down an assembly line, and 1,001 people will pick the components off it, or air chisel it, and then from there it goes into a crusher. The crusher goes into the crusher, and they smash the bejabbers out of it. Toxic as heck. Not something for the home gamer. And as it goes down the line, goes down this trough, they feed toxic chemicals into it, and it separates gold and copper and things like that. Hello, Generation Y. Hi, Dave Donahue. How are you? Good morning. Dave Donahue's been with me since I started this. So has Patrick. So has so have a few others of you, and that's awesome. Thank you so much for that, by the way. I'm not sure what this actually is. This is one I haven't Google lynched yet. IBM Power PC. I would say it probably functions like a slot card, a video, or a graphics card. That is just a guess, but it doesn't have any gold fingers on it. But for somebody who's doing gold recovery, that is an awesome product. Look at that. Look at the chips on this thing. And it weighs nothing. So, I mean, for somebody doing gold refining, that's something I'd go after, for sure. Now, these all came out of IBM's, guys. It's for IBM servers. Again, I have not orders, but I signed an agreement to destroy the computers. They came out of a hospital. So, I had to take I took care of the hard drives. I took the boards off. I punched the memory chips. Sold them to Board Sort because they are a certified recycler. And I sold the cases, the metal, the metal cases. I sold those to a certified R2 recycler. So he's obligated to destroy them. So I took care of that. This is almost like blank RAM. Blank RAM, na blank RAM. So, I'll throw that in with like a lower grade RAM. A little bit of gold recovery there. Okay. Sullying gaily forward here. These are super easy to scrap too. Some of these newer servers, oh god, they're obnoxious. I have varying opinions on the motors. My yard will not buy them unless I take them apart. There is a copper bearing motor in there. Depending on what level of micro scrapping you're at, go for it. There is no resale either. Believe me, I've tried. I've tried to resale anything and everything computer I can. Power supplies and... Bye, Carolyn. Have a good day. Good crushing aluminum cans. Wow. There's a machine for that. Now here where I am, they are 10 cents a piece for cans and bottles. And boy, oh boy, oh boy. And then there's a big recycling center not too far either. People, I'm surprised there are fisticuffs in the street over some of these cans and bottles. There's an elderly Asian couple. They are so polite, you know, they thank me. They don't make a mess, and they ask me if it's okay to go through the cans. I always tell them, knock on the door. I know they come right the night before recycle. I'll either put them on the front porch for them or whatever. I've counted at least 7 different people who go through my rubbish after cans and bottles. It's crazy. There's an apartment complex not too far from us, and I mean, God, you know, it's sad. People are diving in these disgusting dumpsters to recover cans and bottles. You know, God bless everybody who wants to work hard, but, oh, God, that's disgusting. You know, but, 10 cents times 30, and they get these bags. These bags hold, I think, I don't know, 50 to 100 cans of bottles. I have no idea how many they hold. You just see them. They're going on their bicycles down the street laden with cans and bottles. And every once in a while, I'll give them a ride. Let them put them in the back of the pickup truck, throw the bike back there, and just sit on the tailgate, and I'll give them a ride down. But I feel bad that people have to go to that extreme. It's just not right. Like Canadian treasure hunter, he crushes it. No pun intended. Whoever just said crushing aluminum, he crushes it on bottles and cans. Holy cow! There's another guy who works hard. I mean, you know what? We all work hard. Yeah. I think I would die if I didn't work hard. I don't think I would. I've actually tried retiring twice, and both times I've reopened a business. It's just not something I want to do. As long as my health holds up, I'm sure I'll work. At least do something, you know. I am slowing down a little bit, though. I do know that. I finally conceded. I conceded and had a lawn guy come in the other day and do the grass. And, you know what? He needed the work, and I needed not to have to cut the grass. And, yeah, he actually wound up picking up a couple of the other neighbors because he did a nice job. He was going to do it for free. I was outside struggling. The grass was a mile high because of all the rain we've had. And then, of course, I'm out there struggling. He stopped by. He said, I'll do it for free. I'll do it for you. I said, no. I said, I can pay you, and I'm actually really glad to see you. I said, but if you're really in a pay-it-forward mood, there's an elderly widow next door, and she could use the help. So he went over and cut her grass. I gave him a little something for doing mine and a little something. You know, I took care of him for doing mine and gave him a little something for doing hers. And he came yesterday and put down the... he came and actually cut the grass in the rain. His machine will do that. My lawn machine won't. He came and he cut the grass, and he put down grass seed and grub treatment for me. And with now having to deal with all the crap from the flood, God, it's gonna be a nightmare this summer. I'm not looking forward to it. I'm gonna have contractors in and out of the house. I have to have the kitchen. The kitchen floor has to be taken up now. The cabinetry has to be taken up. And it's got to get done now because it got wrecked and it's all moldy and smelly from the flood the other day. So, yeah. I'll be glad when it's done. They're going to come out Tuesday and give me an idea what this is going to cost me. And actually my insurance adjuster is coming too, so that actually works out well. Oh, that's right. On these IBMs, you have to free the board from the frame. Back here, there's metal screws. Turn that around. So I was out and about yesterday, and I don't know if I told you guys. I probably did, but I don't know which channel I posted it on. A couple of days ago, I on a second. A couple of days ago, I answered a Facebook Marketplace ad about a bunch of computer servers that were in New York. So the guy said, well, make me an offer. So I looked at the servers on, the ones he was showing. They were old HPs, even older than the batch I got outside. And I know for a fact there's like very little in there. There's not a lot. There's a lot of metal, but not a lot of value. So I kind of mentally figured out what I could offer him and still make a profit. And I said, well, what is your starting price? I want to see, I don't want to insult the guy. I really don't like to insult people. And long story made short, he said, send me an offer. And I said, all right, $250. I'm selling these for $700 on eBay, and I am crushing it. And, he swore and cussed and called me all kinds of filthy names. And I was like, okay, reporting you, see ya. Hi, Keith. And didn't give it another thought. Then I went back and I looked at the ad. He had gotten them out of an airport in New York City. Well, gee, no security worries there, are there? Are you guys aware all of these things are memory chips? That's why I have to destroy this computer. I can't resell it. So can you just imagine how much information went out on those computers? I almost wish I had got them because I'd have destroyed them. I was really shook about that yesterday. How scary and easy it is. We're dealing with a data breach here in Connecticut. Yale Health Network had a massive data breach, and it was the same. I'm sure it was the same kind of thing. I bet you they sent the servers out, and whoever bought them just resold them. So it's pretty scary. These I know came out of a hospital. These actually came out of New York Presbyterian Hospital. I bought them directly from the. They were upgrading, and I did buy them directly from the gentleman who is replacing their computers. So, but again, he said the reason I asked you about them is because I said, look at what I do. I'm on TikTok, I'm on YouTube. Look at what I do. I'll help you tear these down. Matter of fact, you want to pay me, I'll even come out and do them for you. But it's too far. It's an hour and a half. Very pretty area of Connecticut. I forgot how nice it was up there, way up in the northeast corner. Real pretty up there, though. Okay, there we go. So I don't know if you can see it on video. I had to unscrew this to get the board off the frame. Don't forget to take the battery off, guys. You can't ship with this in there. It's a fire hazard. My transfer station takes those. Well, let's take a look at the board itself. Huh? I have a whole potload of these to do. I'll have to hit that with a little bit. I'll hit that with the heat gun after and try to pop that off. If I can't, I can't. I'm not going to force it. There's a really nice chip under there. Beautiful chip. But I know that because I've taken apart 20 of these in the past 2 days. If I can get it off, I'll get it off. I should get a pair of channel grip pliers and wiggle it a little bit. Kind of like pulling a tooth. Alright. So overall, I would put this at a fairly good quality board. It's a good board to go to board sort, in my opinion. Not necessarily to somebody who wants to purchase it for gold recovery. Although, there's a good chip here. There's a lot of good chips here. This area of the board is well populated. There's probably some gold in here. Definitely gold here, and gold here. This is a lot of waste if you're selling e-waste by the pound to somebody who wants to recycle it. So this is a dual metal socket motherboard, green motherboard. That is what you'll find in a lot of servers. You'll find these in PCs with a single. But for gold recovery, you're really, it's only here. This is a lot of waste. And the back of the board is pretty good too. But this is a board better sold to a refiner. Somebody's going to shred it and get all those precious metals out. Oh, I digressed. So when you sell these boards, you've got to get these batteries off. I was starting to tell you, they take all the stuff off it and they throw the board through a shredder. And as the water, chemicals. They feed it a chemical bath that separates all the chemicals off of here. If this battery is left on here, they can have a fire in that shredder and they wind up with a refinery fire. I have seen, I don't know how many loads of e-waste returned because the batteries weren't taken off, including the area I used to work with. That's one of the reasons we got in an argument. I said, you hire me to be your consultant. If you're not going to listen to me, well, that ain't my, because he was mad because his load got returned. I said, well, did you take the batteries off? He said, well, you're supposed to do that. I said, well, you don't buy all your boards from me. I said, my boards come in with the batteries off. You darn well know it. Anyway, hang on a second, guys. Are we running here? Yeah, okay. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Drag the puzzle piece over to the other, YouTube makes you do this verification thing. A pain in the ass this is. And if you miss it, it throws you off. Oh, come on. Sorry, guys, that was my 1 hour YouTube verification. If you're doing lives on YouTube, you got to make sure you watch for the verification thing to come up. And you have to verify that you're still there, otherwise it'll throw your live off. I've had it happen a couple times. Hello, Mag 5. Guys, take a minute, please hit the like button. That helps the channel a whole bunch. If you'd like to subscribe, I'd love to have you. I will repost this video on YouTube. Oh my God, the sun has made a glorious appearance. I wonder how long that's going to be for. So this is a dual socket green motherboard. It's an IBM server from 2015. We got this, this, we got RAM, PCI cards. So there was a good deal in the server itself, but to buy the board itself, I don't think there's enough value in the board to buy it to just refine the board. Like to sell this board by the pound, no, I won't. I'll just sell it to board sort. But to buy the server, that was worth it, eh? That guy too. All right, well, I think, my friends, I'm going to go outside because the sun has decided to grace us with an appearance, and after a week of rain and storms, my yard looks like a tornado went through it. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope it was educational. I will repost it on my YouTube channel later on in case you want to go back and look at anything. Again, E-scraps. And I will be having pictures and descriptions of some of these things on the website, thecomputerscrapper.com. That's a long-term project, guys. It's going to take me a long time. I also got 4 hard drives out of this board and a little bit of wire. So yeah, the server itself was worth it. The board weighs 3.2 pounds, and it's worth $3.49 a pound to board sort. So that's a $12 board to board sort plus this. Not bad. I take a pound off for shipping, so if it weighs 12 pounds, that doesn't work right. That math is not right. I don't know. Anyway, have a wonderful day. Goodbye, Dave Donahue. Maybe I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning, depending on how everything goes around here. As I said, I've got an awning guy coming. I've got a power washing guy coming. I've got an insurance guy coming. And so many men coming into my house. They're going to think well, anyway. Have a good day. I couldn't let that go. I'm sorry, guys. Love you. God in heaven bless you all for spending some time with me. Be good. Bye.